Hello and welcome to Freedom News, the news you can use to help keep Canada free. Today I have for you a blog written by Danielle Smith of Global News. And before you tune out saying, oh, Global News, fake news, no, this woman is quite conservative. I would pretty much put her in as Global News' version of Rex Murphy, so listen up. I think we're in for quite a treat. I've already read this article. This is Danielle Smith, UN Migration Pact, part of the plan to extinguish Canadian identity. She goes on to write, and by the way, this is December 2018, and she writes here, in the last few weeks, I've had serious conversations with colleagues about whether the federal government is going to allow me to continue using the term illegal migrants in reference to the influx of people at she says Roxborough Road. I think she meant Roxham Road. I'm not kidding. That's because the new United Nations Global Compact for Safe, Orderly and Regular Migration, which Canada is expected to sign in Marrakesh, Morocco on December 10th and 11th. Again, that was 2018. They've already signed. Has a section about media re-education in how we talk about all migrants, including those who break the rules to come to our country. Objective 17 of the pact commits the government to, quote, promote independent, objective, and quality reporting of media outlets, including Internet-based information, including by sensitizing and educating media professionals on migration-related issues and terminology, investing in ethical reporting standards and advertising, and stopping allocation of public funding or material support to media outlets that systematically promote intolerance, xenophobia, racism, and other forms of discrimination towards migrants in full respect of the freedom of the media, end quote. She goes on to say she loves the way they throw in that last part, in full respect of the freedom of the media, as if the entire paragraph preceding it didn't just negate the notion of press freedom. But it took Western University professor Salam Mansour to piece it all together for me, she says. It was coincidental that the day I spoke to Mansour was the day former U.S. President George H.W. Bush was being laid to rest, because it was Bush Sr. who first declared the New World Order after the fall of the Berlin Wall and the end of the Cold War. I don't know what he meant by the term when he first said it, but it is becoming increasingly clear how the bureaucrats at the United Nations see it, along with sycophantic world leaders like Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, who crave international validation. When, just after getting elected, Trudeau declared, "We're back," I wasn't sure what he meant. Nor did I know what he was up to when he told the New York Times that Canada was the first post-national state. But I never thought it would mean extinguishing the Canadian identity. Mansour connected the dots. I thought it odd when Trudeau used the term irregular migrants when the illegal crossings began. There are experts who say nothing illegal is going on and that it is not illegal for someone to enter Canada for the purpose of making an asylum claim or at any point along the Canada-U.S. border. I call them illegal crossings because those who enter our country via Roxham Road have to walk past a sign that says it is illegal to cross the border. The reason they don't go to a proper border crossing is because they could be turned away under our Safe Third Country Agreement. I shall note that in a previous video that I have uploaded, that Safe Third Country Agreement is no longer a thing for us and the United States. Trudeau's Liberals have gotten rid of it altogether. She goes on to say, After reading the UN Pact, I'm beginning to realize that Trudeau's ill-considered "Welcome to Canada" tweet to the world was likely deliberate, as well as the language he uses to normalize illegal crossings. The pact seeks to make migration, for any reason, a recognized right. As for the right of the receiving nation to object to having their borders overrun, well, now you're just being racist. M103, the non-binding motion that condemns Islamophobia, well, yeah, there was an editor's note at the beginning of this that they've edited out things that have to do considered to clarify the so-called non-binding motion. It actually is quite binding and will have some serious repercussions on our society. Has been in the works for years under the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, which have a disproportionate influence at the UN. Last week, Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan said there needs to be an international convention to ban speech that is insulting to Muslims. Do the dirt devils' feelings get hurt when we call their false prophet a warmongering pedophile? Too bad. Her words, not mine. My words, not hers. Sorry, Danielle. Looks like that is part of the Migration Pact, too. There's more. Bill C-69, the bill that would make it impossible to build pipelines, and Bill C-48, the bill that bans tanker traffic off the northern BC coast, are also deliberate. Landlocking Alberta oil and crushing our energy industry flows from the unrealistic commitments to reduce greenhouse gas emissions committed to in the Paris Accord, which is also referenced in the Migration Pact. So, I'm just going to intersect some thoughts here. So, all this huge attack on the oil sands is all part of the whole open borders, one world government garbage from the UN. This is all part and parcel. This is what we were referring to as Agenda 2030, and the whole push to a dictatorship of a one world government under the United Nations. According to Mansour, the $600 million media bailout is the last piece of the strategy, and this is something that's being implemented as we speak with the most corrupt union in this country, who is very liberal friendly, Unifor, being ahead of this. Last part of the strategy to ensure compliance by financially punishing those outlets that don't play along with the new speech and thought code. The newspeak, very Orwellian. Read up on 1984, the book by George Orwell. She goes on to say, I suppose one way to look at it is there's no reason to worry when Trudeau signs the pact next week because he's already implemented the key provisions of it. The other way of looking at it is this, and it is the way that I myself look at it. When did we give our Prime Minister the unilateral authority to sign away our sovereignty, just like we did not give his father, Pierre Trudeau, the authority to force multiculturalism on us in the very haphazard way the Liberal governments have done ever since. We must take our country back. The Greens and the NDP have made it clear that they will form a coalition with the Liberals in a minority government situation. Maxime Bernier with his PPC have made it clear that they will not form a coalition with the Conservatives in order to keep Justin Trudeau out of the PMO for a second term. Therefore, given the fact that in a situation where no clear majority is determined after an election, the incumbent Prime Minister has the constitutional right to test Parliament, to try and hold on to government. The only way to ensure that the Liberals do not hold on to power after October 21st is a Conservative majority government. All you PPC fanatics, sorry, but you guys don't stand a chance. I don't give a darn if you've got 338 riding associations. That don't mean a thing if those 338 riding associations don't field their own candidates. Currently, the PPC have just only a little over 30 candidates. That's the same area as the Christian Heritage Party. You'll never form government. Not this election. So, given that Maxime Bernier has vowed to not form a coalition with the Conservatives to keep Trudeau out of the PMO for a second term, it is abundantly clear that a vote for the PPC is indeed a vote for more of a Trudeau dictatorship. Get your head out of your buttocks and vote Conservative. At the very least, this 2019 election. That's all I have to say for today. Well, that's all I have for today. Like if you like, share, comment, and of course, subscribe. And remember, working together, we can help keep Canada free. Thank you, and have a good day.